Alright, so I'm going to be ticking off one of my bucket list things tomorrow. I'm going to be going to Typical with any of my videos, I start and a car comes past, even though there hasn't been one for about like 5 minutes. No, I'm ticking off a bucket list tomorrow because we're going to travel by train about 40 minutes out of, I should say I'm in Hamburg right now. 45 minutes train ride is Lubeck, which is one of the location shoots for the 22 Nosferatu. The 79, hang on, people are coming, I'm going to pause and come back. Today is Good Friday, and up until about 12 o'clock this morning there was absolutely no one around because nothing was open. I should have come down and done this then. No, as I say, off to Lubeck tomorrow. Shooting location for the 22 Nosferatu, the 79 Nosferatu, and maybe the upcoming 2024 version. Always wanted to go there since I saw the film, and I'm off there tomorrow. Just thought we would arrive in Hamburg yesterday, spend a day in Hamburg. Not an awful lot of interest to myself. My wife and daughter have gone off into the posh areas, going around the shop, so I've just been in a Cold War era Russian submarine, and I've wandered down to the dock area, and this beautiful building, all these buildings according to the tales is 1888, I guess unscathed from the bombing of Second World War. So yeah, this is what I'm hoping to see more of tomorrow. So yeah, I just thought I would start my preamble here. Okay, it's the next morning, and something we found out yesterday is that in Germany on a bank holiday all the shops shut, which my wife and daughter found frustrating because there were shops that they really wanted to go into. But this morning you'll find me alone again with old Drac, because we had to check out of our hotel. We can't check into our next hotel at Lubeck until 3 this afternoon. So the plan now is they are off retracing their steps, their failed steps yesterday, and they're going to spend the morning in the city centre doing their shopping. I've just been up and visited a really good a gaming shop called Atlantis, and now I'm here in that beautiful church. As you can see, the weather's changing and it's getting warmer, which is great. So yeah, I'm here in the park reading my book, chilling. Going to meet up with them at lunchtime. What we want to do is catch a train. As I say, it's only about 40 minutes. Catch a train, so we arrive there about 3, dump our bags off, and then get round the shops, because tomorrow's Easter Saturday, and I figure Easter Sunday and Easter Monday, which is the day we come back, I reckon everything's going to be shut. I mean, if a big city like this, everything closes down, a place like that is going to close down. So the plan is this afternoon, we're going to drop our bags off, we're going to go round the shops of Lubeck, and then Sunday is the big day of seeking out the locations and doing filming. So I will be back Sunday morning. Okay, it's just after 6 in the morning the next day. We got here at 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday, and this whole area here, everywhere, was just chock full of people, cars going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it wasn't exactly the right atmos. Actually, I thought this morning, you know, it being Easter Sunday, there'll be absolutely no one around, but we've got the odd bus and we've got the odd person, but this is better. So here we go. This is the gatehouse going into the old part of Lubeck. Lubeck, the old part, is actually on an island, and we're just about to cross over the river. So yeah, this is the fantastic Grimm's fairy tale gatehouse that everybody has to stop and have their photo taken with. All right, so and I'm very surprised this wasn't used in the film. Over there, we went there yesterday. That's not 2 churches close together, that's a church with 2 spires. Lubeck is inspiring, haha, in the amount of peaks that you get everywhere. There's spires everywhere. All right, so yeah, we went there yesterday. This is the as I say, the gatehouse. Over there, that's the main reason for me being here. They're the salt houses, the salt warehouses that are just so iconic. The other side, this is the back of them. In a minute I'm going to go to the other side, all right, and this is the back of them, and this whole area here, look, more spires. This whole area over here was featured in the film. Behind here were all the support buildings for the warehouses, and in the 22 version, when Knock escapes from the asylum and he's running down that really ramshackle bunch of alleyways and buildings, and it was like a slum, and it was a slum clearance. Lubeck suffered an awful lot during the war, Second World War, from Allied bombing, because it was a port, yeah, but this was actually intentional. This was all cleared. All along here is where all those buildings were, long gone. All right, so I'm going to stop. We're going to go through the. We're going to go through. They've even still got a portcullis here. We're going to go through. I'm going to turn off because this isn't the most exciting bit. Have I already said? But Lubeck is a World Heritage Site in the amount of fabulously unique, interesting medieval buildings. The salt houses are one of them, but they've, as you can see there on the left, they've tacked on the ground floor as you go through some really quite hideous shops. So I'm going to ignore that bit, all right, and I'll come out the other side. Much better. It's something like 24 days later, or The Walking Dead. Absolutely nobody. I crossed the bridge, much like Hutter does in the film, and everything changes. Yeah, talking about the bridge. This is the bridge. Here we are. Right, okay. I'm a bit puzzled by this. That's the gatehouse that I've just come through. I've come over the bridge. I'm at the front of the salt houses. Now, this pier, this jetty that's just here, it features in the 1979 Werner Herzog version. This is that wonderful shot where the doomed ship with the dead captain lashed to the wheel, in one shot arrives, comes down, moors just here, and the shot ends just about here. The cut is just as the captain at his wheel is seen. But to do that, this bridge couldn't have been here. This must be a very, at least since 79, bridge. There must have been a tip-up bridge or something here. Or they filmed somewhere else. It's been a while since I saw the Herzog version. I'm sure it was filmed here. But if so, how did you get a bridge through there? A bridge through there. I do apologise. As I say, what is the time now? 6:20. Yeah, I need my coffee. A ship through there. Well, I must say it's very strange to be here. Where I am right now, I'm standing exactly where the camera crew would have been in 1921. And can you hear that? To actually be standing here, listening to the fantastic soundtrack by Popol Vuh from the 79 Herzog version is this is an ambition of mine to be here. I've long wanted to be here. This is a bucket list, as they say. So yeah, here we are. Let's put Popol away. Here we are. This is exactly the spot where they filmed it. They framed it slightly differently to what you see here. You can see that there are a number of the buildings. So I just remembered I had a photo in my pocket to show you. Yeah, there's a number of buildings. This is a screenshot from the film. This is the very first time you see these in the 22 version. And you can see that there's only 4 buildings in the shot. and you have a grid over it, and this was a case of the camera was just here, and they just got a metal grid which they put in front of the camera to imply that the shot was being taken from outside a window of Knox estate agent's window, you see. And as I say, you only used 4 buildings, but here there's actually 6. And let me just put that away. So it's those 4 in the middle, not the one on the left, not the one on the right. So that's practically the angle. Now, in a minute, over there, that building, just where my finger is, that's the window Max Schreck is at as Count Orlok, looking out to the other side, to the Hutter's wife. Now, if you stand still, sorry, if you keep looking at that window, just keep wait and bear with me. Something's going to happen in a minute. We found this out there. We found this out last night. Last night we had a meal down there, and we came back in the dark, and I was way down there, and I looked across, and I said to my wife and daughter, there's a light on in a window of the salt house, and actually that's the window that Count Orlok is at. And came across, and it wasn't until we got really close, you know, right by the bridge, it's like, hang on, that is Count Orlok. I'm hoping you can make this out. If you're watching this on a TV, hopefully you can see that, but that is a photo of Max Schreck as Count Orlok at the window, stuck to the window with a light behind it, and every like minute or so it goes out and then it comes back on. When I was first here yesterday, this area here is all, as you can see, it's all tables, and it was packed with people, and yeah, it wasn't good for the atmos. Oh look, he's gone again. And I was saying to my wife yesterday, before we got here, I wonder if there's any nod to, you know, Nosferatu in Lubeck. I know at Whitby, which is another place which has an even more well-known connection to the Dracula mythos. It can be really quite tacky. Oh, there he is again. It can be really quite tacky. There's Dracula experience, and you've got Dracula gift shops, and it ain't good. If you're going to go to Whitby, I suggest going out of season and stick to the abbey, the ruined abbey, and the shoreline. All right. So that's that. I'm going to come back tonight, and I'm going to end this video at night with the Count looking at me. All right. So I'm off now to another location. All right. So I'm just down the road, as you can see, from the salt warehouses. Still no one around, and ain't I grateful. Now this road, if you're a fan of the 22 version, you may recognize this. This was used for this is the road that Hutter walks down to work, and it's also that very long shot which goes on much further than those buildings at the bottom there. This is the street where they start bringing out the dead, the people that have died from the plague, from the rats that Orlok has brought with him. You can see there's bits that are of the time from 21, 22 when it was filmed. There are small areas, small buildings, small chunks of buildings that are still of the time, but like this corner here, everything at the bottom is gone, because this is bomb damage. These buildings were flattened during the war, so you've still got the lovely cobbled street, and you've got that nice curve upwards the road, upwards at the back, which makes this recognizable, and you've got the buildings on the left and some on the right, but it's a shame. Originally that road went on much further. I'm going to head off this way now. See, I'm not self-conscious at all. There's no one here. I'm so glad I got up early. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go on to the next place, but I thought, even though this is a thing about the Nosferatu, you know, buildings and location. I'll just point out a couple of other things as I go. All right. So the salt houses are back there, and yesterday, I'm going to keep my voice down because I think these are actually apartments. Yesterday, when we got here, we went to explore and walked up this road, and I'm thinking, this is fabulous. Look, cobblestone streets still. I could be Count Orlok. Well, I've got the hairline for it. And look, some of the buildings aren't original. Well, old. Some are, and I think this one's a rebuild, but it's been rebuilt in a sympathetic, style, trying to match in with everything. It's like, this is great. And coming up, we've got one of the whacking great big churches that medieval Germans like to build. And I'm thinking, this is great, okay? And then we got to the top, and I'm going to pause in a second, and I'm going to start again when I get to the top. But yeah, look at the size of this fella. Amazing. What a beauty. Yeah, I'm going to go up around the corner, and to be continued. Yeah, we came around the corner and we encountered this. It's like, what? I mean, discount the spires if you can, but we then ended up in an area that, okay, look, more spires that way, but of course, anything that's new replaces something that was bombed during the war, and mercifully, a lot of these buildings, like those ones there, survived. Those ones obviously didn't, and none of that. And I don't know, this wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a modern town, if you go to Canterbury and if you go to York or Lincoln, places that too were bombed during the war, there's been quite an effort there to actually match the new builds with the old, and I really wasn't expecting this. Anyway, that was a bit jarring, but the next bit I'm coming to made up for it. So this is the main high street. Basically, you can see there's more cars now. This is the main high street. At the bottom of that hill is the gatehouse. And yeah, this is just rather disappointing for me because this looks no different to any English seaside town. It's really given me vibes of a generic English seaside town, which was a bit disappointing until, as if on cue, by the way, that's where I'm meeting my wife and daughter for breakfast later. We're just going to go there. So, massively disappointing, but then look. You think they're playing it just for me? This is the old market square, because this is where the old city hall was. And this is the church showing off with not 2, not 3, not 4. It's spires a go-go up there. That's what they should call the church. This is the musical bit before chiming out the hour. All right. Again, yesterday this was packed full of people. There we go. But then again, suddenly, and I'm not detracting the town at all, you've got to rebuild, but I just wish, when you've got that there, do something, I think the bills ain't going to stop now. It's Easter Sunday and we're in still a very Catholic country, so I think get out of bed, get to church. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. We might be having a meal in a vault. There's a vault just there, restaurant. We might be having our last meal in Lubeck tonight in there. But again, this is I've been upstaged by a church. The bells are getting louder. They blooming well are and all. Yeah, no, just to illustrate to you again the culture shock of finally being in Lubeck yesterday, and you get here and here's those buildings and shut up, and then you come through the doorway and you get blooming TK Maxx and more tat shops. Right, I'm going to go back to the bells because I'm heading off that way. I'm now going to go to Hutter's house. All right, one last shot, and I'll be back. Five minutes later, and they're still at it. That's just showing off. That might be the church I need to go to shut up, to find Hutter's house. Turns out that was the wrong church. I'm at the right church now. This is much more like it. This is what I thought Lubeck, foolishly, naively, I thought would all be. And you know, in my mind's eye, this is how all of it is. Yeah, I'm quite away from the noisy church, and I'm here near Hutter's house. I'm keeping my voice down because I'm aware it's still early in the morning, and yeah, this is an awful lot of people's homes, so I'm being quiet. So let's go around the corner. More spires. So I almost walked past it because it is so small and unassuming, but it's coming up. I mean, you know, here it is. This is his house. Don't you start. Don't you start. That's better. That's a bit more subtle, wasn't it? Oh, I can hear another one. I think we're going to have a reminder today that we're in a place with an awful lot of churches. So, yeah, Hutter's house. You see him leaving at the beginning. You see him rushing back home. And it's here. You see these, the two arches with the doors in. Just hope there's not anyone around staring at me. But it's there. That is it. See, the two arches. The two arches. There's that's Hutter there. There's like a shed, a low shed that was under that window. I hope people don't look out the window. And there we go. That's Hutter's house. The other thing to mention is that the original plan, you know, if you know the film, you know that you have a shot of Orlok walking past the church carrying his coffin under his arm. Well, that was going to be here. They were going to film it just here, but the church authorities said no, you ain't doing it here. And that's where one of the reasons, or I don't know if they were already planning to go to Weismar to do some of the location filming, but yeah, that's why you have that big blocky church in the film where you see Orlok carrying his coffin. So there we go. I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I've done this early in the morning. I don't want somebody coming out and giving me evil looks, but yeah, that house there is Hutter's house. Right, I have a courtyard to find next, and hopefully it's early enough the courtyard will be open. So I'm on the way to the courtyard, and this is much more like it. I've unfairly judged the place. I think I was judging it on, you know, the main road and the main, you know, attraction area of all the just regular shops. I've been walking along now for about 5 minutes, and it's beautiful. This is all untouched. This is how I imagined it would all to be, for sure. And there are nice little interesting independent shops, little cafes. I don't need no TK Maxx, I don't need no whatevers, you know, Lidls and stuff. No, this is lovely. This is really, really nice. This is how I imagined the whole place would be. And just some more. Oh man, I'd love to live here. Look at it. Yeah. And this part coming up. This is looking even older. Look at this. I mean, that's new. That's obviously, well, obviously, but it could have been bomb damage. But we're quite away from the port area now, so I think that's why there's more of the old buildings left. But oh man, you move these cars out the way, and I turn this photo or this film into black and white, and you'd be back there, wouldn't you? Final visit today is through this doorway through here into this private courtyard. It is private. This is about as far as you can go, but there were people in here just a minute ago, and they've gone now. They've cleared off, and that's great because look, there to there, those two arches, them two arches, all right? And yeah, in the film, this is where, at the far end there, that's where Hutter comes along. I'm going to be overtaken to go to work, and the professor comes along from the right, meets him just about there where the water fountain used to be, and yeah, meets and talks to him, and told you I'd be overtaken, timing or what, as usual. And yeah, on his way to work, the professor comes along and natters to him. And as I say, this is our final load. Oh, now I'm being looked at from the other side of the road. This is our final location visit from the film in Lubeck. We're planning to go somewhere else later on today, which might be of interest, in which case I'll stick it on the end here. Otherwise, there'll be a nighttime visit to go and see the Count. Well, the last bit of filming I wanted to do today was at a museum of puppets, which by the photos I've seen from it had some very creepy, bizarre subjects in there that would have fitted nicely with the video I've been doing. But alas, it's in the middle of a construction site. I don't know if it's been redone or what, but there you go. So this is it. This is the end of my trip to Lubeck. I'm so pleased I came here. Even more pleased that these old salt warehouses are still as they were over 100 years since Murnau was here filming. So pleased that they haven't been turned into, repurposed into other things, you know. And I'm glad to have been here. This place, in my mind, is second only to the actual castle used in the 22 Nosferatu, and one day maybe I might go there, in which case there will be a far longer video. So for now, it's good night from me, and it's good night from the Count. See you next time.